So today I stumbled upon something quite compelling that's sending shockwaves through the XRP community. And yeah, I had to dive into it. A prominent figure in the crypto space, known as crypto-based, just dropped a daring tweet that's igniting serious conversation. He shared a chart suggesting that XRP could be on the verge of a parabolic breakout. And let me tell you, the visual was nothing short of striking. At the time the chart was posted, XRP was already trading around 227.90, having surged nearly 3%. But what truly grabbed attention was the forecasted trajectory. The chart projected a sharp upward spike, potentially propelling XRP beyond the $5 mark, essentially more than doubling its current value in a compressed time frame. Before we unpack the details, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Your support means everything. Now here's where it gets even more intriguing. Crypto-based hinted at government-related inside info as the potential catalyst behind this explosive move. A bold statement, no doubt. If it's true, and there really is some covert governmental involvement, then this kind of parabolic speculation might have a valid foundation. But here's the catch. There's no proof, no receipts, no official confirmations. As of now, it's entirely speculative. Let's talk about that chart, though. From a technical standpoint, it's clearly bullish. It illustrates XRP smashing through the 2.50 resistance level, climbing in deliberate stages, and hitting key psychological benchmarks along the way, eventually piercing through the $5 ceiling. The chart also outlines brief consolidation phases before each ascent, almost as if it's factoring in natural pullbacks before momentum resumes. If that kind of pattern materializes, we could be witnessing multi-year highs for XRP. And yes, people are paying attention. Now, the community response has been a mixed bag. One user, Chosen Profits, threw some shade, calling it another case of deja vu. If I had $1 for every time I heard this, definitely a nod to the recurring XRP hype cycles. But others, like Monton, took a more balanced stance, saying, parabolic calls come and go, but when they land, they reshape timelines. Watching closely. That's a sentiment many can relate to. Skepticism blended with curiosity. Just to clarify again, there is no official word of government involvement with XRP. No documents, no verified details. So yes, we have to approach these claims cautiously. That said, Crypto-Based's tweet has definitely rekindled excitement around XRP's future, especially in this current market cycle. Given XRP's historical sensitivity to legal developments, institutional backing, or even geopolitical narratives, just the rumor of a government tie-in is enough to sway market sentiment, confirmed or not. Here's where things heat up even more. Sam's offering isn't your typical futures contract rollout. They're also launching micro-sized contracts, designed to be more capital efficient. Whether you're a major investor or a casual trader, this new structure offers flexibility, letting you gain exposure or hedge positions without tying up too much capital. And the fact that this is happening on a globally trusted exchange, that's a serious step toward integrating XRP deeper into the mainstream financial ecosystem. But what really caught my attention was the timing. Observers like Sam K pointed out that this futures launch is set to occur just 3 days before a pivotal moment, May 22nd, when the SEC is expected to rule on Grayscale's application for a spot XRP ETF. Yes, you heard right. A spot ETF for XRP. So we're looking at a regulated futures product going live, followed days later by the potential approval of an ETF. That's no accident. This 1-2 punch, futures plus ETF, could be a signal of rising institutional interest and a shifting regulatory climate surrounding XRP. Now let's talk about the SEC. Let's take a moment to talk about the SEC. Back in February, the agency made a noteworthy shift by officially acknowledging several spot crypto ETF applications, including those related to XRP. At first glance, that may not seem like a groundbreaking move, but it marks a significant departure from the SEC's traditionally cautious stance. Historically, they've been hesitant to approve spot-based products due to concerns over market manipulation and inaccurate price discovery. But here's the twist. Leveraged XRP ETFs have already been approved. Take 2Cream, for example. They launched 2x XRP leveraged ETFs, which are complex financial products built on European exchange-traded products and swap agreements to generate returns. So here's the obvious question. If these riskier, more intricate instruments are allowed, why is a straightforward spot XRP ETF still being blocked? The logic is starting to crumble, and many market analysts agree. If you're giving the green light to leveraged derivatives, it's becoming increasingly difficult to justify stonewalling simpler, more transparent vehicles. Add to that the fact that major institutions like CME Group are stepping in to legitimize XRP through regulated futures contracts, and the pressure is mounting on the SEC to modernize its logic. We've reached a point where regulatory policy and market demand are colliding, and something's got to give. So what does all this mean for XRP moving forward? This goes beyond a few headlines. The launch of CME-regulated XRP futures and the looming possibility of a spot ETF approval aren't just milestones, they're signals that XRP is being taken seriously by traditional finance. The infrastructure is expanding. Access is becoming easier. And if this momentum continues, institutional adoption may no longer be a distant hope. It could become an inevitable reality. CME is introducing 2 contract types: a micro contract pegged at 2,500 XRP, a standard contract sized at 50,000 XRP. Both will be cash settled and priced using the CF Benchmark's XRP USD reference rate, aligning XRP with the same professional framework already in place for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even Solana futures. Giovanni Seyoso, CME's global head of crypto products, summed it up perfectly. Interest in XRP has been climbing. This launch is about giving investors more tools to hedge and participate as adoption accelerates. But the evolution isn't limited to just trading products. We're witnessing a major regulatory shift that could reshape the future of XRP and other digital assets. The Federal Reserve has recently eased restrictions on how banks interact with crypto and stablecoins. Previously, banks had to jump through endless hoops, seeking permissions, filing disclosures, and notifying the Fed just to dip their toes in the crypto waters. Now the Fed will rely on standard supervisory oversight, removing a massive barrier that had stalled partnerships between crypto firms and financial institutions. And right at the center of this momentum, Ripple's own stablecoin, Rust. Rust has been gaining serious traction. Just recently, it experienced a 45% surge in volume, driving its market cap to $294 million. Analysts like Barrick believe this convergence, eased regulations, CME validation, and Rust's rise could catapult XRP to $10 by the end of 2025. Now let's pivot to the charts. As of now, XRP is trading around $2.19, showing signs of consolidation after a modest rally. We're brushing against the upper Bollinger Band at approximately $2.29, which is acting as short-term resistance. The midline support floats around $2.07, and if XRP dips lower, the lower band offers support at $1.86. But here's what really caught my attention. The MACD just turned bullish. We've seen a crossover, with the MACD line overtaking the signal line and histograms flipping positive. That kind of technical pattern typically signals a shift in momentum and could indicate we're on the verge of another strong upward leg. So what's the upside potential? If XRP can break through that 230 resistance with sustained volume, the next major levels are 250 and 3 $. A clean breakout above $3 could unlock the gateway to $5. And yes, possibly even $10 by the end of next year, especially if futures markets, institutional demand, and regulatory clarity continue to align. Bottom line, there's a lot stacking up in XRP's favor right now. CME futures, evolving regulations, Ripple's stablecoin gains, and it's all creating a perfect storm for potential explosive price action. I'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as they unfold. Drop a comment below. What's your XRP price target by the end of 2025? Are you bullish, cautiously optimistic, or still on the fence?